Okay, so here's a problem about solar panels. Okay, and they gave us some lengths on there. They said that this was where the solar panels were, is 13.6 feet. They gave me, so they actually looked at this backyard and they basically took a knife and cut it down the middle, and then we can look at it from the side. That's what we call a cross section. And the diagram shows the dimensions for this cross section. A vertical support from the right angle to the ground is recommended. So right here, they recommend that be the support. That's what we're going to have to look at. And approximate the length to the nearest foot. So we've got some other sides here. This is 4.4 feet. And then this whole bottom, it's important that you realize it's the whole bottom, it's not any part of it, is 14.3 feet. So what I need is that red one, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to, if I can get this piece here from here to here, or if I can get this piece here from here to here, I can get the support. Let's call it X. I can get X. So how do I do that? Well, there's a couple different ways. There's actually about 3 or 4 different ways. I'm just going to choose one way, and I'm going to do what we called boomerang. And boomerang is going to happen with the side and the hypotenuse, and that will give me one of the pieces. So I've decided that I'm going to use the long side. I want this side here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to start over here at this point right here on the hypotenuse, and I'm going to draw a boomerang. So let me get rid of those and I'll draw it now. So here's my boomerang. It's going to come down here, then it's going to go up to 13.6, and it's going to come back down 13.6 and not quite get back to where it started. And that's going to give me that question mark there. So I'm going to call that question mark. Let's call that question mark. So I'm going to go back here, and I'll do that again. But I'm going to call that question mark. Let's call that question mark Y. Okay? So I'm going to figure out Y here. So let's do that. Let's do it. We got the right color. So let's go here. We go across here. Well, that's this whole distance here. So I'm going to write 14.3 over. Now, you know you want to put the Y down, but don't this time. Not yet. Then we go up this side. We get 13.6. Then we're going to go down that same leg and get 13.6 in our other fraction. And then I'm going to come back and get the length of Y. Okay, so if you look at it, it kind of looks like a boomerang. It goes like this, like this, like this, and comes back. And that kind of looks like a boomerang. That's why it's called that. It's not perfect. Okay, so I'm going to cross multiply. This here is 14.3y. Then I'm going to cross multiply that there. You won't be able to see that very well, so I'll write that as 13.6 times 13.6, which is 13.6 squared. And then I have to get y by itself, so I'm going to 14.3 on both sides divided so that these cancel out here, and I'm left with y. Okay, so I end up getting that is about 12.93. So let's write that in here. This is now 12.93. Okay? I also actually know what this is, because that's going to be 14.3. So I'll do that right here. 14.3 is the whole length minus the 12.93, and that gives me, just checking it here, 1.37. So you can't really see it here, so I'm just going to leave it right here. 1.37 for that distance. Now I can do heartbeat. Go down here, up here, down here, and make the heartbeat, the EKG monitor. So let's do heartbeat. Okay, so I've got the pieces now. So let's go up here. That length is 12.93 divided by, go up, x, come back down the x. So there's the second part of the x, and then I'm going to finish that last part, which we said is 1.37. So it turns out when I cross multiply, I get x squared. When I cross multiply here, don't know what that is, but I'll figure that out right now. So that gives me 17.71 approximately. And you can check on there. So what is that x value, which is what we're trying to figure out? The support thing, that's going to be the square root. So I'm going to have to square root both sides of 17.71. So second square root, second answer, and that gives me 4.21, and everything was in feet, so this must be feet.